Able to see my screen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Dhananjay, I think you can put on your mode.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Shagun, shall we start? Hello.
Yeah, you can start. This is Mohammed
Okay.
Shuman.
Yeah, Shagun. So, in this today discussion, I'm going to discuss about in depth about the what are the main core components and how they are integrated together and what the best we can get out of the Hadoop core system. Okay, that's what the introduction. I mean, the discussion about today's session. And before that, let me introduce myself. Myself is Srinivas. I'm working as a Hadoop consultant since last 3 years. I have total experience of 10 plus years of experience into IT. That's what my experience. Okay, Shaman. So may I know your technical background, Shaman?
Yeah, Srinivas, yes, Srinivas, this is Shuman. You can call me Shuman. I just want to know. I do have also like around 8 years in IT industry experience. I just want to know how much coding knowledge you need to know in order to work in a Hadoop environment.
It's like having some 2 years experience. Like you should know how to code any technology. It's not like the Hadoop coding is difficult. You should know at least you should have worked for 1 2 years somewhere in your career. Did you work as a developer in any of your career?
No, no, I'm a QA lead, so I've been working with yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know how we can help.
Definitely help you like the basic coding experience. Definitely I'll help you. It's not an issue because I will give you all the inputs regarding the coding in Hadoop because you should switch to Hadoop as the market is very good in Hadoop at least now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start Hadoop exactly. You might have known what exactly Hadoop is, right? Hadoop is something
Yeah.
like a parallel distributed system. So when I say parallel distributed system, we already have systems like Oracle or my MS SQL servers, right? Those are also parallel distributed system. Then how exactly Hadoop is different from the existing technologies? So here the difference exactly you get in terms of the scalability. Okay, you get in terms of the business money which you require to get the systems up. Okay, to buy a Hadoop is it's a free open source software, so you will not get any license fees. Okay, that is where you see the benefit first. In terms of scalability, you can extend up to thousands of servers. But in Oracle or my MS SQL server, the problem you see is if you expand the system, okay, you see the problems in terms of performance, right?
Mm.
Did you see it any time like MS SQL server with 5 servers, 10 servers?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see with 50 servers?
Yes.
SQL server 50 servers.
Yes. I'm a SQL server. I was working in a organization where you have like multiple server running.
Yeah, I'm not asking about multiple servers. I'm asking about the cluster. Cluster is with 50 servers.
Uh, I don't remember exactly 50 or not, but there was back in 2007. I used to work on Microsoft SQL Server environment where I used to
Yeah.
work
So
pretty petty as
even I
yeah.
work for 1.5 year on SQL DB, where I've seen is a maximum of 4 servers in a cluster. See, cluster is different, environment is different. Cluster means
Okay. I'm messing around with you. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah,
yeah.
so
So
two,
you
maybe up to two I have seen.
yes, two. I seen 3 or 4 maximum, not more than that because
I have seen only two.
yeah, because in that cluster, what will happen is something like there is some kind of a bind up between all the servers. If one server goes down, second server will come up. So
Yeah.
business will be running all the time. But here the
Okay.
problem is you need to purchase a license for server base. Okay, that too all are license based. Okay, so when you increase the servers, you see issue in terms of the scalability. So these all problems can be overcome in a Hadoop cluster because in Hadoop it's a open source software, so you don't need to pay money. And second thing is the scalability. People are extending in thousands of servers. Like Yahoo is using 40,000 servers cluster. So
Ah.
you can imagine 40,000 servers in a one cluster. So they
Mm.
all bind together. So any node, so any server goes down, that work can be done by a different server in the cluster.
Okay.
Did you get the point? Exactly the
Yeah.
benefit of a Hadoop and existing servers. Okay. So
Yeah.
what Hadoop is good for? Hadoop is good for a large volumes data. Okay. That doesn't mean that it's good for online data and offline data. Okay. It's good for only offline data. When I say offline data, something like Hadoop is good for analyzing the offline data. Something like you have some website logging. Okay. So I can analyze the website logs to see when was the maximum utilization of the website. See,
Mm.
on the website, by using the website, I can tell you, okay, if your website is down, it might be down because of the over utilization of the resources, or
Mm-hmm.
there might be over utilization of the users wise. Right? It can be different parameters. How will I know? I have to analyze the logs. Say like Amazon is a big big users based website, right? You will see millions of users
Mm-hmm.
will be logging into the website. But if you want to analyze on Amazon.com, you should look at a logs utilization. What are the logs it is giving? What kind of logs it is giving? So I can analyze, say, take 1 month logs or 1 year logs. I can easily predict what will be the next year. 2016, I can easily predict it. Something like, okay, this month I will see huge volumes of data will be flowed into system. So that time I have to make sure that I have to add more resources to Amazon.com so that my business will not go down at any moment of time in that particular high usage month. Yes, Aman?
Correct.
Right? So that kind of data, offline data, I can apply Hadoop on offline data. Okay. So most of the time people are using for that only. Now let's go to the next slide. So these are the guys already in the system they are using. This might be the old slide, but in the current market, everybody started using the Hadoop because they realize that there is a big benefits to their system. As of now, every company is maintaining the 10 years data, 20 years data, but they are not making use of it. They are not making any trends out of it. Did you get my point?
Yes, correct, correct. So
Okay.
are we having like to have it just a general knowledge? Do you have any other tool beside Hadoop for big
Uh,
data?
so something like Hadoop, we have already systems like data warehousing tools, but the problem is they are seeing scalability issues or
Right, because data
performance.
flying in multiple different
Yeah,
databases.
see, in this current world, what is happening is data is growing at every level. It's not like even user level also. Data is growing in GBs,
Right.
sometimes in TBs also. Even a smartphone can hold up to some 1 TB of data also nowadays. A smartphone.
Right.
Okay, think about like smartphone, how many devices each user is holding up.
Right.
Right. So like that data is going in a very drastically from some MBs of data to terabytes of data. So obviously the business when you're doing with that kind of users, okay, you will see definitely a huge volumes of data will be flowing into your system.
Correct.
Right. So I mean people started realizing the benefit of the Hadoop, then they started using, these are the big guys already using it. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So what are the prerequisites? Okay, here I have seen people like company executive officers like CEOs, okay, or project managers, business analysts, and who is having background of analysis or some quality checks, okay, or the background programming. So everybody is welcome to learn Hadoop because it's a booming technology. Nobody should the opportunity in Hadoop frameworks. Okay,
Mm.
and then down the line next 5 years, okay, there is a very huge volumes of jobs will be open already across the world. There are very good requirement of Hadoop, but there are no people to work on Hadoop framework.
Right. Right.
Okay, that's where the billing charges are very high in the world. Like in US, I don't know, it is I heard 250K per annum they're offering. They're ready to pay 250K also.
Right. Right.
Okay,
Right.
so like that. So I know like 100K is average, but 250K is very at max. I know like Even some companies CEOs also will not get that kind of packages.
Correct.
Some
Correct.
small startups. Okay,
Correct.
there are good number of companies. These are the job opportunities found. Okay, let's discuss about the technical aspect of the Hadoop. Okay, till now we discussed about what exactly Hadoop and the benefits of the Hadoop, why we need to Hadoop. Okay, let's discuss about the HDFS architecture. Okay, this architecture, if you see mainly two things are important. Shaman, one is name node, okay, one is data node. When I say
Mhm.
node, it's a server. You have to assume, you have to think like server. Okay, so name
Yeah.
node is a one server, data node is a one server. Okay, name node is something like you will not work. Hello, I think I see some.
Yeah, I'm here.
Shaman, 1 second. Dhananjan, are you there? You should be there. Okay. We have one more participant. His name is Dhananjay. Is joined from
Yeah,
it.
yeah, Srinivas, I'm
Okay.
available.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dhananjay. You can put on mute.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
oh.
So here, Shaman, like when I say name node and data node, okay, these are the servers. Okay. When I say name node is responsible for storing only a metadata. You would have heard the word metadata.
Yes, correct.
Okay, metadata is about data is about data. Something like is a manager. Okay,
Right.
actual data is data nodes. So
Oh, okay.
when request will go to name node, the next request will go to data node. Suppose somebody asks some work. Okay, the request will go to manager. The request will be forwarded to data node to do
Okay.
that same work. So actual data will be stored in data nodes, but name node is responsible for storing only metadata. Any application should directly interact with name node. It should not divert or bypass name node because name node is the index of the data. What kind of data is available on server 1? What kind of data is available on server 2? So this kind of information will be available in name node. Okay? Okay.
Correct.
So replication. Let's come to a concept called replication. Replication is a concept you would have heard word replication. The meaning itself is to replicate. To replicate 2 copies, 3 copies, or 4 copies.
Right.
Right? Now let's take what is the use of the replication? How exactly this future will differentiate from the existing system? Okay. Sorry. So suppose you have copied 1 GB of file into Hadoop system. Assume this is a full Hadoop system. Okay. In 1 GB, what 1 GB will have happening is replication will try to copy 3 times. Suppose you copied 1 GB here. What replication will do is it will create one copy of 1 GB and will paste in the second server. It will create one more GB, it will paste in fourth server. So you are
Oh,
having 3 GBs now. 1 GB here, 1 GB here, 1 GB here. So ultimately
okay.
what is happening? You are having a 3 copies of 1 GB.
Right.
Yes, Shaman?
Yes.
Okay, what exactly you get if you have 3 copies?
So basically, you're saying that if you have a one copy, you're basically making like 1 GB, and you're copying and putting it 3 different location.
So what will
Like
happen is, so even you're seeing
if
two.
one die, two die, third one will pick up and run.
Yes, correct, exactly correct. You catch the point. So here, if 2 dies, you can get a copy still from a third copy. Okay,
Right.
so there is a chance of say like this server might go down. Okay, that in the worst case. Okay, this server might go down in very worst case. Okay, but if this server goes down also, the chance of losing business is very low.
Right. Right.
Right, so that's where you get a concept called replication. The default number is 3 means it will copy
Yeah.
3 times. Okay, and I said 1 GB, right? Normally what will happen is in a programming in a computer, what things will happen bit by bit, right? Bit by bit.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Hadoop, what will happen is each bit we call a 64 MB size.
Okay.
Okay, if I copy 1 GB into system, 1 GB will be split into 64 MB blocks. Each block is a
Okay.
64 MB.
Okay.
Okay, the 64 MB blocks will be replicated. I mean,
Okay.
even I say 1 GB file, internally how it happens is 1 GB will be splitted into 64 MB chunks. That means 1024 MB by 64. It will give you around some, how much? Any guess? 1024
Mm-hmm.
by 64, something like, it might get, you might get 24, 22 or 23, something like that. So 23 blocks will be created, 23 into 3.
Right.
69 blocks will be copied across all the systems. Okay. Hope you catch the point, Shaman.
Yes.
Oh, good. Let's discuss about the next point. These are architecture. Okay. So these are how Hadoop file system will be. Here, like in you might have worked on Linux also, right?
Mhm.
Linux.
Right.
So in Linux, what you do is you always discuss with a shell. If you want to
Right.
talk to the system, you will go to shell. You open a bash shell. You type the command. It will again talk to the kernel in Linux, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the same way, in Hadoop, then what will happen if you want to talk to Hadoop file system? Okay, here Hadoop file system is different. Okay, compared to Linux file system. What is different? Here you maintain a replication, right?
Right.
Okay. Now here also you will have one shell we call Hadoop file system FS, HDFS FS.
Okay.
Okay, so here these are HDFS file system. Here we have multiple tools to talk to the Hadoop file system. See, you are working on, let's take a simple example to give more idea about this HDFS file system. In Windows file system, if you want to talk to Windows file system, you use some tool, right? Okay,
Right.
you use some tool to talk to your file system. Select like
Right.
let's take Explorer or some software which you can show you the files. Okay, some software which will copy the data from Windows to DVD. Okay, like some software you use to talk to a file system. Same way to talk to HDFS file system, I use map reduce programming. Okay, I use Hive programming. I use
Okay.
Scoop. I use some other tools, other SQL tools. I use a different tools to talk to Hadoop file system.
Okay.
Okay, so what you understand from this slide is you have to use the existing
Different
tools
to
like
talk to
Hive,
Hadoop.
yeah, Hive, map reduce, or MySQL, or some other XYZ.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, the important, very important of the Hadoop framework is a map reduce programming. Okay. A map
Mhm.
reduce programming. The programming logic we call is a map reduce programming. Okay. It's a two-word combination, map reduce combination. Okay. Let's take a small example. I will ask you one simple question, Shamu. Be focused. Okay. Uh, in the area wherever you are staying, okay, there are some 10 small areas, 10 small areas like this,
Right.
okay, 10 small areas. So hundreds of people are living in all 10 small areas. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I have given a task, okay, to do the number, I mean, how to count a number of people in on small 10 colonies, 10 areas. If
Right.
I ask you to do a job, I'll pay you some $1,000. Okay, can you please count the number of people in 10 areas? How you will do this job? How you will do the job? Any guess?
Probably gonna hire 10 different people, right?
Right. So you pay them some $50 to them. Everybody you save $50. Okay. And you what you do is you will send 10 people at a time. Okay. They will give you
Mm-hmm.
10 counts. What you do is you will aggregate them.
Right.
Right. So what exactly you are getting is if you are only one person, if you are the only one person to count all 10 small areas, what will happen is, okay, what will happen is ultimately you will end up in extra time to count all 10 small areas, right?
Right.
Okay, to save the time, what we're doing, you are recruiting 10 people and sending them to all 10 small areas.
Right.
The work is same, work is counting the people. Okay, aggregation you are doing, aggregation is simple. Just take the 10 people count and sum it up and you send them result to the screen or to the
Right.
next level. Okay, that's called mapper is a call, it's a calculation program, and reducer is called is a summarization. Okay, So why this kind of framework is required is your data is distributed in all the servers. Your data is not going to sit in a one system. So whatever you have to write a program should be in a map reduce programming, because you are going to work on a clusters, not as individual nodes, right? Say like my data 1 GB is distributed across these 10 servers.
Right.
Obviously, your program should run on 10 servers. So
Right.
who will simulate 10 times? See, I can write program one time, but who will run 10 times?
Right.
Right? The mapper is going to run 10 times.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So like that, that's called a map reduce programming. And remember one point, important point, whatever you do on Hadoop framework, ultimately it will generate map reduce programs. The map reduce programs will work on cluster.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you write some XYZ program, ultimately it should give map reduce programs, because you are going to work on Hadoop cluster, right? Okay. Now let's discuss about the HBase framework. HBase framework is something like storing a data in tables, but here you will use the files. Okay,
Correct.
there is no limitation on the columns, number of columns. In Oracle or in MS SQL Server, say let's take one employee table. Okay, it has 10 columns. Okay, can you insert 11th column?
Yeah. If no.
You can't insert, because you have only 10 columns. If you want to insert 11th column, you have to create 11th column and insert.
And then insert, right.
Okay, but in HBase you can insert 11th column also, but defining in runtime.
Oh.
Okay, that's the advantage of the HBase. Now let's take up the next programming language. See, I am talking about tools which can talk to HDFS.
Right.
Okay, now I am done with the HBase. Now I'm going to talk Pig. Pig is a programming scripting language. Okay, what you can do is with with the help of Pig, you need to learn Java. You need to
Okay.
learn Java. Pig is a replacement for Java in Hadoop. It is a small script. Using small script, you can write programs in Hadoop.
Okay.
Let's take a simple line. A equal to load file 1 as XYZ. Okay, because the meaning of the statement is I'm loading a file 1, okay, which is having 3 columns, X comma Y comma Z, okay, into variable A.
Okay.
That means what I'm doing is I'm loading a file, okay, which is having 3 columns, X comma Y comma Z, into a variable A, into a variable A. If you do the same line in Java coding, okay, in Java coding, it takes 25 lines.
Hmm.
In Java, how program looks like, you know, right? Like
Yeah.
class, public, okay, and you have
Yes.
to write system.out.println, okay, and
Right.
you have to close the class. If any,
Yeah.
you have to use
Right.
the file classes to work with files. You have to open the, you have to use the file classes. So it will create a bigger program. But
Right.
what you are able to do in a single line.
Right.
I'm reading a file, storing into A.
Hmm.
Right? I mean, what I'm doing and what I'm getting is, I'm doing it with a small single line. I'm able to complete my work. So
Okay.
why pig was introduced in the programming is to reduce the developer time. Okay, to reduce the
Because you don't have to write like a lot of
lot of program.
program.
Yeah, you will not see any debugging issues.
Oh, okay.
If it is a big program, it's very difficult to debug, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. Let's take a next high programming. I just completed peak programming. Before that, I completed HBase. Now I am
Right.
starting Hive. Okay, Hive is something like it's a SQL tool, SQL tool, SQL tool. Okay, suppose I have one single file. Suppose if I ask you to, can you query on a file? Will you do that?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Can you repeat? I was breaking.
I have given you one text file which is structured. Say like it has 10 columns. Okay, can you query that file using say, SQL?
Yeah. Yes.
SQL.
SQL. You can query, right?
How you can query?
Oh, it's a file. No. No.
No, it's a file. Okay. you can query a table. If I give a table, you can query simply.
Sorry, I thought
Oh,
it's a table.
okay, and no problem. Always realizing is important than mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, so file you can't query. Okay, you can
Yeah.
query table.
Table. Yes.
Okay, so what I will do in Hive is, if I have file, I'll simulate a table. Simulate means what? Simulation. Say
Mm-hmm.
something like flight simulation system.
Right.
You will not drive flight, but you will be in a flight simulation system. You feel like you are driving a flight. Okay, in the same way, you will not see a table. What I will do is I'll simulate a table from a file.
Mm-hmm.
On the simulation table, I'll load this table so that I can query on top of it.
Oh, okay.
You get my point? In reality,
Right.
you will only see a file. What I will do on fly, I'll create a simulation table. Simulation table. On the table, I will load a file. Right?
Right.
So what you get out of it? So I can query a Hadoop file system, right?
Right.
Because I am simulating it.
Right.
Simulation means Hive is a simulation table, simulation SQL tool where I can query a Hadoop file. In reality, you
Okay.
can't do it, but I can do it with the help of Hive. Any doubts?
No, go ahead.
No, right? Okay. Let's take one last tool which we call a Scoop. Okay, Scoop
Mm-hmm.
is also one of the ecosystem tool. I'm always repeating one word: ecosystem tool. Ecosystem tool is something like Hadoop is a ecosystem. Okay, so in that ecosystem you find a number of tools like Hive, HBase, Scoop. Okay,
Right.
that kind of tools you will see. What Scoop will do is I can dump Oracle data from SQL to Hadoop. Say like
Okay.
I'm using Oracle since last 10 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I have to switch my business from Oracle to Hadoop. Can I do this instantly?
Oracle to Hadoop.
Yeah. What will be the problems if I do instantly? Suppose yesterday Hadoop came, if I want to switch today. Can I do that?
I don't think so.
We should not do that, right? At least we have to try the solution, right? We have to try the solution. So what I will do is I'll try to copy data from Oracle to Hadoop.
Right.
Then who will understand both? Because see, as a human, we can understand both Hadoop and Oracle.
Right.
But in a system level, somebody should understand and they should convert data from Hadoop to Scoop, SQL.
Right. Right.
Right? The
Right.
Scoop is a guy who can understand both. He can dump data from Oracle SQL to Hadoop or Hadoop to SQL.
How about other database, other
Yeah,
relational?
any relational databases like MySQL or Oracle or Microsoft SQL servers. Three things.
Okay.
Okay. So I think we are done with the main tool. This is one live example which I will discuss in the practical sessions. How we can do that. Okay. And if you put all of them together, okay, this is how system look like Hadoop ecosystem. Okay.
Okay.
The bottom layer we call a file system, that is Hadoop file system. On top of that, you have a HBase, it's a column-oriented database. On top of that, you have MapReduce programming. MapReduce programming is something like whatever you do on top of it, it should generate MapReduce programs. We discussed already what is a MapReduce programs by giving an example count.
Right.
Right? And we discussed big programming and we discussed Hive and Scoop. Scoop is something like DBMS. So these top items are something like what it could be. Scoop is something like DBMS related. Okay, Hive is something like is reporting because of SQL. Right.
Right.
So Pig is scripting language. That's we call it ETL tool.
Right.
Okay. So you put all of them together, it looks like this. So the one point I missed out here is Zookeeper. Okay, Zookeeper is something like it's a synchronization tool. Okay, it's a synchronization tool which will synchronize all the tools together. Okay, so you need not really worry about Zookeeper. Zookeeper is it will come with a system. It's a synchronization tool.
Correct.
Okay. Any queries, Shamun?
Yeah, so I just want to know like so the position that after this class will be that I'm trying to get a job, it will be like a Hadoop consultant or Hadoop admin or Hadoop developer.
It depends on the requirement. Say something like if somebody asks you to set up the Hadoop clusters, you might be hired as Hadoop developer, but assume like you have to work from scratch. So you
Right.
might be worked at Hadoop cluster level. Okay, they might be asking you to analyze some data. I mean, the course is targeted towards 100% confidence in Hadoop, whatever you do. Even if they ask you to write something in Hadoop, you will be able to do that. If they want you to set up some Hadoop cluster, you will be able to do that. If they want you to administration, something like you have already 100 node cluster, they ask you to take administration task. Okay,
Right,
you'll
right,
be able
right.
to do that because I'll be helping you on all the aspects in this class.
Okay, okay.
Okay, it's not targeted only to administration. Okay,
Right,
it's not
right, right.
targeted only developer.
Right.
Okay, it's targeted
So
in the
so
mix of this.
Hiba, so Hiba and like Pig, Hiba, Scoop, all the tools and programming language that you're gonna use in Hadoop, you
Hmm.
need a separate is all open source, or you have to have some sort of
It's all
uh,
open source. It's all open source. It's a part of the Hadoop ecosystem. It's all open source. You can download freely. We can. So what I will do is I'll set up the environment on your system, and we can take it forward from there.
okay. Yeah, and the last question I have is like, so I mean, how like how's the market now? Like in like I think you're in India, so you probably don't know like how many. Like let's look at last year. Like what was the placement and and all like from your end like.
See, last year, almost last before year started, 2013, I started working in Hadoop. Okay, I realized in 2014 is a good time to move to US. In 2015, I'm trying for H1 really using some third party. I'm trying for H1 to get into US on this Hadoop framework.
Right.
Uh, very good openings are available in Hadoop. In the trend wise, job wise, in 2013, I don't see any job openings in India. Okay. In 2014, I started seeing the openings in the end after the almost second half in 2014. Okay. In 15,
Uh-huh.
I'm seeing number of openings. I daily get
Uh,
five ten mails. Daily get 5-10 mails from all MNCs. See, here one thing you have to remember, if there are openings in India, it directly implies with US openings.
right, right, right.
Because if they are not able to get a position in US, what they will try to do is they will outsource the position
Right,
to some other country. That's what
right, right,
happening. That's what happening. But they will
right,
try to recruit the people in US itself, maximum.
right.
But if they don't get, they try to open source a position in India.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you easily you will get more than 100K easily if you're already experienced in US. How long you're
Yeah.
working? Since how long you're working in US?
I'm working almost 80 years. I'm a US citizen. I'm already
No,
making
you are
100.
already then you know, right? You know the better.
I'm already making 100 over 100, but I just want to switch my career to big data because I've been reading a
There
lot of
are
articles.
there are chances you will see 50% hike easily from your current cities.
Yeah, but so how about the job support? Like at the beginning, you guys gonna do job support?
Yeah, that's a different service.
Oh, okay, okay,
That's a
okay,
different service.
okay.
Because as I discussed with the vendor, I think whoever you approached, okay,
Uh-huh. Right.
that's a one deal. But you're talking about some different deal, so I can't comment on that.
Okay, no, but I mean, you've been teaching here like other consultant also, right? I mean, how long
Yes.
usually they do? I
So
know it's different.
I'll give you 2 months support, 2 months support for the job.
Okay,
It depends on your
and like
comfort level.
right, right, right. And then how I'm saying like how many consultant like so far you guys like you know the place in USA like you how many.
I trained almost 100 plus people. I know more than 40% of them are already in the Hadoop jobs.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
Wow,
40% of them.
you're
Not
doing
only
good.
US, I have the students in UK too. UK too.
Oh yeah, we still in UK.
Yeah, because see, doing online. For me, location doesn't matter to me.
Right, right, right. Correct, correct,
Always
correct,
timing is matters to me.
correct, correct,
Yes,
correct.
yes.
Okay. So that's all I have. Thanks for taking your time, Srinivas. I will start probably from March 15 because I'm taking a master class. Like this is I have 3 more weeks to go. So maybe
Okay.
first week or second week of March I will start.
Okay, sure, no problem.
Okay. Before, if I could, I will talk to them and I'll ask.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. Just whatever the case, just let me know. Let me
Yeah.
know if I
Yes.
can do anything on top of it. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. All right.
Thanks, Shamu.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for your
much.
time.
All right. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye. Dhananjay, are you there?
Yeah, 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 Srinivas.
So I think I'm done with the session. I'm also recording the session. If I
Okay,
can get it to you, I mean, definitely I'll share the link where you can download the recorded session.
okay, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dhananjay.
Okay,
Bye.
okay. Thank you, Srinivas. The class is very good.
Yeah. Thank you.